Hey, this is Mike Shildt. I'm proud alumnus of UNC Asheville. Went to school there, played there, not very well, but played there. And then started my coaching career there in 1992 and 1993. Got a excellent education at UNC Asheville, and had some really good experience with professors that really took the time to care about me, and I was really grateful for my academic experience at Asheville. And then when I got done, it was like, now what? I was blessed enough to get into something that ended up being my career, and that was an opportunity to coach. And Jim Brett's the head coach at the time at UNC Asheville allowed me that opportunity, and I got real experience. I mean, it was a small staff. The opportunity to establish those relationships on the collegiate side of it made me realize how important those things are for actually being able to coach the player and ultimately partner with the player. And that's what I feel like is the strength of a good coach, and the best value for the player is establishing the relationship, making sure they know it's not overly transactional. And then ultimately, it's about making sure that whatever you bring to a player has real value and is going to help them. And I learned that through some trial and error now. Don't get me wrong. There's some real trial and error. Your job is to develop the players for a championship level club in the big leagues, and they move on and you stay. Your job's not to get to the big leagues. Your job is to get players to the big league. Go and sit down. I'm always a kind of a half hour before the game. I want to come in and sit down and just absorb the stadium, regardless of level. But gosh, I can tell you the first times that I did it in Busch Stadium, after being in the organization, I was there in total 18 years, and on the minor league side, 13 years, and sitting there going, whoa, I'm managing here, and just see the ballpark fill up. And I did that every day. I did it on the road and at home, and never took for granted the position I was in. There's no guarantee that you're going to win any sport at any level, and I've been very, very blessed to have been I've won everywhere I've ever been, whether it's the amateur baseball or, on teams that won 3 minor league championships. And like you said, we, won it every year and made the playoffs in every full season that I've managed. And the tenet's always been, us being together. And if, again, there's no guarantee that you are together, you're going to go to the playoffs or win a championship, but you can almost guarantee it if you're not. So it starts at a starting point with us being aligned. I did look up and, got to a certain age where I said, I'd like a little bit more, people use the word balance. I like to use the word harmony in my life. And I said, there's some things that I didn't have anything else to prove outside of winning a World Series as a manager at the big league level. I was part of 4 World Series, as part of the organization with the Cardinals 4 different times. And, the organization won it twice. I'd done it enough. I'd proven to myself that I could do it, and I enjoyed doing it. I missed the heck out of that clubhouse, Manny and Toddy and Bogey and Crony and Musgrove and, Fermin and Jackson Merrill, and, just really, really missed the player connection that was there and the ability to interact. And I do miss the competition at that level. But now it's just, I also realized it was a little bit about me too. And so now I'm in a role with Baltimore where it's, it's still got some teeth. I'm on the development side of it, which I love. The people are great. It's well run. It's high character people. I get a chance to work with a guy that a childhood hero that I got to know in my childhood, and now is becoming a guy that I work with, fairly consistently and talk with, and Cal Ripken Jr. And so that's really cool and surreal a little bit still. Well, you know what? I kept every single practice schedule, game card um, that I've ever had. So I've got like boxes and an attic full of, you know, 30 years of each team's got its own, box of schedules and programs and all this stuff, and it's got its own place. You're going to hear no obstacles, but it's really, I'm a strong believer that if you believe in yourself and you continue to better yourself, and you're respectful about how you go about it, there'll be an opportunity for you. But persistence is important. It shows that people can come out of these opportunities that are really wonderful opportunities where they get real experiences, and then can go compete at the highest levels and be successful. And those are grounds where, that provide those opportunities. So I'm very grateful for UNC Asheville. I loved being a part of the Big South as a player and a coach.